Hello and welcome to this educational presentation of PTS Primo charts, step by step. Now in these webinars we like to take you step by step through the process of applying the different methods and strategies and techniques that we have on our new PTS Primo charting platform. In today's presentation we're going to go up to the next level, which is level number 2, where we're going to talk about a little bit more advanced features that you can start using, such as strategies and the scanning process. Now, as you take a brief moment to view our disclaimer, a few years ago someone asked me what the Holy Grail was, or what the perfect strategy or system was for trading. And it reminded me of something that I heard roughly about 4 decades ago when I was trading on the floor of the Pacific Stock Exchange, because my mentors told me something that has stuck with me as well. And they said, Steve, there really is a Holy Grail. There really is a perfect trading method that generates amazing results. And I was struggling at the time when they told me this, and I thought, boy, that's fantastic. Can you please tell me what the rules are? Tell me exactly how to trade this system or this strategy. And they said, Steve, the Holy Grail is called educating yourself. And at the time, that's not what I wanted to hear. I wanted someone just to give me the rules, the indicators, the system to trading, to have amazing results. But it really is true, because most of us are taught to listen to someone or something tell us what to buy, what to sell, because that's what traditional wisdom tells us to do. We read a book or we buy the perfect method, but really no one really educates you. In other words, we're basing our decisions off of someone or something else rather than educating ourselves and then making our own decisions. That is what really is the Holy Grail. And the good news is that's what we provide with our new PTS Primo charts, because the platform really teaches traders how to trade. We give you the sound fundamental education that has stood the test of time. We give you the strategies, the techniques, and the methods, but we're educating you. We're not just force-feeding you signals. We're not just force-feeding you strategies. We're educating you so that you know what to look for on a daily basis or an intraday basis, depending on what type of trader you are. Now, today we're going to be talking about level 2, which is, taking it up a notch in our educational series here. We're going to go step by step. And the first thing we want to discuss is step 1, what style of trading suits you best. Now, if you recall, in level 1, we talked about what type of trader you are. You could be an intraday trader, a position trader, or a investor. Well, now that you've decided what type of trader you are, now you have to see what style suits you the best, because there are really only 2 styles of trading, okay? 2 styles of trades. The first is continuation trading. All right. Now, continuation trading is basically looking for an established trend and then buying, having some type of structure that will have you enter once a trend is already in place. Okay. Oftentimes, traders like to use this continuation entry style when they're in a trade and they've exited, and then the trend continues to go higher and higher, and they want to look for a place to get back in. Or maybe they have a faulty strategy and they're looking for an entry place that is better suited for their trading. Okay, so it's a great way to trade if you like to jump in once the trend has already been established. Now, the second style of trading is pullback trading. All right, this is more suited for people that wait for a trend to be established and then look for some type of sell-off in an uptrend or a bounce in a downtrend. That's called the pullback, or the reversion to the mean. And this is where they like to enter and hopefully get in on less expensive prices. So they're both valid. They're just different styles. And the good news is that we provide strategies for both of those different styles. That's the beauty of what we teach you as our members here. You can either be a pullback trader, and we have very good methods that will suit you, or you can be someone who likes to jump into an established trend. You can be a continuation trader. We have strategies that suit you as well. So let's look at the continuation strategies that we provide you with. Strategy 3A, which usually jumps into a very strong established trend but continues in that direction. Strategy 4, which we'll show you jumps the line here, can be used as a continuation strategy as well as a pullback strategy. And then ultimately strategy number 5. Now, these strategies are either based on proprietary settings we have with indicators, or they're based on pattern recognition. Either way, they're very simple and very easy to implement and to learn, and that's what we do at our combination of strategies and the platform and our mentoring with Pro Trader Strategies and myself at Specialist Trading. But remember, our goal is to teach you and educate you so that ultimately you can make your own trading decisions. Even though all of these strategies are provided with up and down indication arrows, it's more about checking your work so that you'll know ultimately and eventually how to spot these signals on your own. All right, so let's look at our first example here. Here is a chart in Facebook, and as you can see, we've had a very nice established continuation to the upside. All right, and as you can see here, the first thing we always want to do with any of our strategies is add our buy sell line tool. Now, in this instance, what we've done for these examples in level 2 is we've used our color band at the very bottom here. As you can see, it's been blue for the past 3 to 4 months. Now, obviously, someone would say, well, yes, it's easy to see we've been in an uptrend, but we knew as far back as the beginning of the year that we were in an uptrend because the color band ribbon was blue. So we have a nice uptrend, and then the next thing we want to do is find a continuation strategy, okay? And that first one will be strategy 3A. Now, strategy 3A is based off of an indicator we use. In this case, I can tell you it's the Bollinger Bands, but we have a very proprietary setting for that. So what you would do is, if you wanted to check the indicator settings as well as the signal arrows, you can just simply click on the drop-down menu, click on those specific categories, and they will automatically appear on the chart. All right. Now that's our proprietary setting for the Bollinger Bands, and as you can see here, we had 2 signals. One at the very beginning of this very strong trend to the upside, and then another one later on. But as you can see here, we were jumping in as the trend was being established. Now this can work to the downside as well. Now we're looking at FOSL. We have our proprietary setting of the Bollinger Bands on the chart displayed, and as you can see, we've had a very strong move to the downside, but the strategy generated a sell signal right here, okay, and the trend continued. This is the perfect example of a continuation trade to the downside. Remember, you can view this with the indicators, without the indicators displayed. You can also view it without the indicating arrows displayed as well. It's a great way to check your work to see if you're in line with what we teach you in the courses. Now let's move on to the next continuation strategy, strategy number 4. This is in a very nice move to the upside in this particular stock LRCX, but it's kind of stalled here and going sideways. A lot of people would say, well, it looks like we're rolling over. Steve, the chat room I go to, and the earnings are bad, so I think this is going to go down and make new lows. But we don't listen to those things. Remember, we've educated you. We make things as simple as possible. All you need to know, first of all, is the overall trend, and the color band ribbon at the very bottom is telling you we're still in an uptrend. So you still want to be buying here, okay? Now, let's say you had some ideas on where some buy setups were using strategy number 4. Well, you could check your work by simply saying, well, okay, I'll click on the drop-down menu and click on signal arrows to see if I had the right signals. And there was a bunch of them that were generated. Let's say you had the last one just a few days ago, and you say, okay, I checked my work. It looks like I'm right in line. I'm learning this strategy. I don't need the arrows. I'm just using this to find out if I'm in line with the strategy rules or not. And ultimately, we had a really nice move to the upside on that continuation of the uptrend. We can also see this on a strong downtrend. The entire time we've been going lower and lower. The color band ribbon has been reddish orange, telling us we're still in a strong overall downtrend. And strategy 4 continued to generate signals all the way down. Okay, our next strategy is strategy number 5. Now this is a pattern recognition strategy based off a couple of bars here that we teach you in the course. As we can see, we've had a very nice move to the upside. The color band ribbon is blue, all right, and a strategy signal was generated right here. Let's say you checked your work and you said, boy, that's where I saw that a signal was generated as well. And ultimately, it continued in that direction. So those are examples of continuation strategies. Remember, once again, even though we provide you with the indicators and with the rules and with the up and down arrows, it's more about educating you so that you know how to spot them on your own. Now let's go to our pullback strategies. These are great strategies for waiting for price to sell off to try and purchase at lower prices, or for waiting for the stock or future or currency pair to rally in an overall downtrend, and hopefully you can sell it at a higher price before the downward trend continues. Let's start out with strategy number 1. Now this uses a proprietary setting on the daunting channels, as you can see. Now our Color band ribbon is blue the entire time, telling us it's okay to only buy because we only want to be in sync with the overall trend. And here's an example of a very shallow pullback that worked very well. And here's an example of a more moderate type of pullback. Now notice that there were a number of buy signals generated using this particular pullback strategy before anything happened. Many times, although not guaranteed, when you see a confluence of signals here, this will be a little early warning that a rather large move is going to be happening. And as you can see, we had a very nice move to the upside in Apple right here. We can also use the same strategy for pullbacks to the downside. Now we're looking at Halliburton, HAL. We have our proprietary settings of the Donchian channels right here, which you can display or decide not to. Once again, here was a pullback to the upside. A sell signal was generated, a nice move lower. And then we had a confluence of more sell signals here, and then more room to the downside. So these are great examples of pullback. Strategy 1 is one of our most consistent pullback strategies. We can move on to the next one, which is strategy number 3. Now, strategy number 3 is designed off of a proprietary setting of an indicator I'm not going to display right now because I don't want to give away the rules or show how it is applied. But it's a great strategy for capturing oftentimes these very deep pullbacks. Now, someone would say, what do you mean by deep pullback? Well, as you can see, we had a really nice upward move here in Netflix, and then it really sold off kind of strongly here, and it looks like it's going to be going much lower. I'm sure a lot of people would have said in chat rooms or on TV that this is going to come all the way down here to fill the gap. And it may have, all right, because we're not saying that it's not going to go lower. We have no idea. We're just trying to educate ourselves and learn how to listen to the market rather than someone in a chat room or on TV. So what is the market telling us? Well, according to the buy-sell color band ribbon here on the bottom, it's telling us that we're still in an overall uptrend. So there's no need to sell this yet. And then once you formatted all the rules and the proprietary settings of the indicator, you would have seen that actually a buy signal had been generated once you clicked on the signal arrows to check your work. So let's click on the signal arrows and we see that a buy signal was generated right here. So where everyone else may be saying that we're going lower, well, the market was telling us that there's a sign it may be going higher. So you're looking at this from a buy point of view, and that was a very nice deep pullback to get involved with. That's strategy number 3. Let's move on to strategy 4. Remember, we had this strategy in the continuation sector, but it can also be applied for pullbacks. That's the beauty of strategy 4. It can transfer over onto any market, any time frame, any direction. It's a continuation type of strategy, and it's also a pullback strategy. So there's lots of different uses for this, and it's probably our most popular strategy to date here. This is something I learned some 4 decades ago on the floor of the exchange. Once again, we have a really nice run up here in Tiffany. And then we have a rather, steep sell-off right off the bat. A lot of people would think, well, maybe that's the top. It's time to get out of this. But what's the buy-sell line color band ribbon telling us? It's telling us we're still in an overall uptrend. There's no reason to actually exit this. Now, at the same time, if you learn the rules to this pattern recognition strategy, a very nice buy setup was generated right here. So once again, you can see that's the beauty of trading pullbacks. You get in oftentimes at these less expensive prices. Now, pullbacks can happen to the downside. Obviously, we're in an overall downtrend. It's being confirmed by the color band ribbon at the very bottom, the orange-reddish color band. So let's say you want to look for pullbacks. You want to look for these bounces to go short or to sell or perhaps to buy some puts, whatever way you want to enter into the trade. Well, once again, click on the drop-down menu in our green strategy tab under strategy 4, and you'll see all of these variable options here. Let's see what the signal arrows are so we can check our work. Well, right off the bat, there was a nice jump to the upside. A lot of people would think, well, we're going higher, and strategy 4 generated a sell signal, and we went down very nicely. Now, here's another nice little bounce here, a shallow pullback to the upside. Another sell signal is generated, and another nice move to the downside. Now here's a more moderate pullback. A lot of people would say, well, you know what, we bottomed out. We have a divergence right here. All the indicators didn't line up. We should have made new lows on the indicators, and they didn't. The volume didn't confirm this low. So this looks like we've bottomed out. We're probably going to go back up to these highs. What is the overall trend? It's still down, so there's no reason to be buying right off the bat. That's the first thing you learned with our educational tools. The second thing is, once you know the pattern that we're looking for, you would have seen and checked your work that a sell signal was generated right here, according to the pattern we teach you in the course. And off this moderate pullback, you had a very nice run to the downside. So do you see, everything we teach is in the chart displayed in front of you. It's very simple, it's very basic, using a couple of indicators, using a few patterns that we look for, and it's designed to listen to the market, not to an outside source. That's strategy number 4. Let's go on to the next one, which is strategy number 8. Now, strategy number 8 was specifically designed to trade stocks, and oftentimes what will happen is you'll see some really strong moves after a signal has been generated. Now here we have another very nice move to the upside, and then for the past month or so we've been going lower. Someone at this point would think, well, boy, we're in a solid downtrend. But according to the overall color band ribbon, we're still in an uptrend. And having said that, look what we have here. Strategy number 8 generated a buy signal. So this is basically the market telling you, not some fundamentals, not some earnings report, or not someone on TV, but the market telling you it wants to go higher. And as you can see, there was a very nice sharp move to the upside after that. Strategy number 8 can also trade pullbacks to the downside, and oftentimes you may have to wait for that strong move, but as we stated earlier, it will many times, not guaranteed, but many times really foretell of a strong, powerful move in the stock we're trading. As you can see, we had a nice significant drop here, but then we've been going sideways to actually even a little bit higher. At this point, a lot of people would say, well, you know what, we're kind of bottoming out. It looks like we're building some type of a double or triple bottom. This is probably going higher. What is the overall trend according to our buy-sell line color band ribbon? It's reddish-orange, so that's telling us no, to still stay short or at least be on the sidelines. Now, if you wanted to see what the signals were, you would simply go to the Strategy 8 drop-down menu, click on Signal Arrows, check your work, and you see that you've had a number of signals here, a total of 5 altogether, but nothing has happened yet. All right, so this is where we really trust our methods, because oftentimes, if you wait and if you have proper money management, you will ultimately have that nice trade in your direction. Now let's go on to the next step, which is scanning these signals on our strategies. Many times we have people who'd like to just see what happened on a daily basis. So what they'll do is, if you're working and you aren't able to be in front of your computer all day long, you can simply at the end of the trading day go up to our scanning process and see what the signals are for the next day. Here's an example here. We're looking at the Tiffany chart that we were following with strategy number 4. We had a really nice trade there, but let's say we came home and we're looking for another trade. We had a very nice trade here. Let's say we bought the calls or we actually purchased the stock. Now we want to get back in. We've exited with a nice profit. Let's look for another one. And it doesn't have to be in Tiffany. We just want to see all of the stocks that night that generated signals, strategy number 4. So what you would do is once again click on the strategy tab, the green tab column right here, and the drop down menu will appear. This time we want to click on scan. That's the category we're interested in. You click on scan and immediately a window will appear such as this, which is our strategy scanner window. All right, and it's extremely simple. I don't know if you have gone to scanners before, or have had them on your charting platforms where you have to decide all these different variables and different things. It's so simple with the PTS Primo charting platform here. The first thing you're going to do once you click on this window here is click on Load Symbols. Now we provide you with a number of different indices and symbol lists, ETFs, currency pairs, stocks. Let's say you click this on and you want to just see the NASDAQ index, okay? Once you would click on Load Symbols, you would get a list of different indices or stocks that you were interested in. And if you clicked on the NASDAQ index, well, it would simply appear right like this, all right? Now, this is just the list. We haven't scanned anything yet, so the next phase is just to click on Scan right here. And once you click on Scan, we will scan the entire index or whatever list of stocks that you put up there for strategy number 4 trades, because that's the scan you have. And once it has scanned, which virtually takes maybe anywhere from 10 seconds to a minute or two, depending on how big your list is, you will see in the far right hand corner either red or green columns. This just means a red column that is a strategy number 4 sell signal in this particular issue, which was CA. On this particular scan date, we had a buy signal that was generated in CH or CHKP, all right? And the last buy signal, now this is just taking a sample page. There can be literally hundreds of signals generated on a nightly basis. It's up to you what index you're looking at and how many stocks you're interested in. And remember, you can also scan currency pairs, futures, whatever indice you put up there or whatever index you put up. Now this last one was a buy signal in DLTR. Let's say you're interested in that stock, maybe that's in your portfolio, you've traded it before, you like to trade options in it, whatever you want to do. So all you would have to do is just double click on that column right here in green. Just double click it and you'll get a drop down window here, just like when we explained in level 1 webinar where you're going to be accessing a chart. And it does it all here for you. All you had to do was double click that on and then simply hit OK and the chart automatically appears. And you can see there is the signal arrow on the far right. So there's the buy signal at the end of the night. And so you can do this on a nightly basis to see which stocks have generated signals or not. Remember, we provide this for you, but you should check your work to make sure that you understand why a signal is being generated, because that's the whole process, educating you so that you're in charge of making your own decisions. All right, let's recap here. Remember, there are two styles of trades. There is continuation trading, where you look for an established trend, either up or down, and then you wait for some type of structure and jump on board. Or there's pullback trading. That's where a trend has been established, but you have this counter trend within the major trend. You look to buy at lower prices or you look to sell at higher prices, okay? As my mentors taught me, they said, Steve, there really is a holy grail. There is a perfect trading method that generates amazing results. And guess what? It's called educating yourself. So that's our goal when we developed this new platform here. When I teamed up with Pro Trader Strategies and Specialist Trading, we put together all of these different things so that you could educate you, so that you could know exactly how to make your own trading decisions. That's what we provide at the PTS Primo charting platform. Now, in our next webinar, after you've thoroughly researched and studied this, watch this webinar as long as you'd like, watch this video, then go on to level number 3, where we'll tell you about some more advanced ways to trade, to confirm your setups, to trade differently, possibly using our new tool, the PET-D. Okay? Now, if you have any more questions, you'd like to contact Pro Trader Strategies, you can email them at the email address provided, or probably the best thing would be to contact them through the phone. Just call them at 310-598-6677. They have many trading consultants manning the phones that will answer any question you have, no obligation required, and you can get more information about our new platform. Thanks so much once again for attending today. Remember, we present these educational webinars to inform you what the PTS Primo charting platform is all about, and that's our goal, to provide you with sound fundamental knowledge that has stood the test of time. Remember, our mission at PTS Primo charting platform is to teach traders how to trade, and we think we do this very well with our new platform. Thanks again. We'll see you in the next presentation with level number 3.